What do you get when you fuse Korean cuisine and Mexican cuisine? Korean tacos. Come on, let's get started.
Todo queda sabroso.
Today is a fusion of Korean and Mexican cuisine where we're taking a popular Korean dish like bulgogi and putting it in a fresh flour tortilla. So unlike some of the other videos in this series, you can check out the playlist at the end of this video, but this Latin Asian fusion combo originated right here in the United States, in Los Angeles, California, where the Korean taco truck was popularized by celebrity chef Roy Choi. And that Korean taco truck really took off by combining Korean favorites like bulgogi and kimchi and placing it in a traditional Mexican flour or corn tortilla. And that's what we're going to make today. Let's start with the marinade. One of the key ingredients in this marinade is an Asian pear, which you can find in most supermarkets. However, if you can't find it, then you can substitute a red apple like a Fuji. So we have the Asian pear, we're going to use half. One onion, half is going to go with the steak and half is going to go into the marinade. Then we also have garlic and ginger, a little bit of scallion, some soy sauce, some mirin. If you're not familiar with mirin, it is a sweet cooking wine. If you can't find mirin, you can simply substitute a rice wine vinegar. And then we also have brown sugar. And then we're going to be adding some black pepper and sesame oil a little bit later on when we marinate the beef. Okay, so I'm going to blend all the marinade ingredients in my Vitamix and I'm going to puree until it's nice and smooth. So we're going to add the Asian pear, the garlic and ginger, the half onion and the scallions, about 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, 3 tablespoons of the soy sauce, 3 tablespoons of the mirin, and a half a teaspoon of ground black pepper. I'm going to place the lid. We're going to turn it to medium. And then just begin to blend. Okay, here we have our partially frozen ribeye. Just going to stack those together. And I'm simply going to start cutting thin slices of that ribeye. See how easily it cuts when it's partially frozen. You get those nice clean cuts. That's exactly what we want. Okay, there we have our ribeye. I'm going to place it in a bowl. I'm also going to take that half an onion and simply cut thin slices. And add that to the bowl. Then we're going to add that marinade, which I did strain. And you're going to add all of that. And I like to add the sesame oil on top. I don't like to add it into the marinade itself. And then just mix that all around so that all that beef is marinated. Oh my God, if you could smell this marinade, smell the ginger and the garlic. That mirin, there's sweetness from the brown sugar. This is going to be delicious. So we're gonna cover this with plastic wrap and then place in the refrigerator for at least 4 hours or overnight. Okay, so here we have 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and to that I'm going to add a 1/3 cup of vegetable shortening. You could also use lard. Some people even use butter. We're also going to add half a teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to mix all that with my hands, breaking up the shortening, mixing it with the flour until it resembles coarse crumbs. Okay, so our shortening is pretty much incorporated in that flour. Now we're going to add half a cup of lukewarm water. Then we're going to mix. Consistency is very important to a good tortilla. If it doesn't feel right in your hands, you can always adjust. Nothing is ever perfect. Maybe it was a little bit too much flour. Maybe you didn't have enough water, okay? Maybe your measurements were a little bit off. It's totally okay. As long as you know what it's supposed to look like and feel like, you can always fix it and adjust it. Okay, this is what it should look like. Nice smooth ball, no flour in the bottom of our bowl. Now we're gonna let this rest for a couple minutes. Then we're gonna make our tortillas. Okay, so I got about 8 tortillas out of this batch. I'm just making them smooth so that we're ready to press. Okay, so here we have our tortilla press. We have a piece of plastic on the bottom. Take one of our doughs, put it right in the center or off center. Put a little plastic on top, press it down. Then press our tortilla press. Put your weight on it so that it really flattens out. Okay. What I like to do is give it a turn and do it again. And then here we have our tortilla. You can actually flatten this out a little bit more with a rolling pin. So I can take a rolling pin and simply roll it out just a little bit further. Okay. And now we're going to finish the rest of these and then put them on the cast iron pan. Okay, so here I have a nice hot cast iron pan. And I'm going to take my tortilla, place it in there. Do not touch it. You'll know when it's time to turn. You'll see the tortilla begin to inflate and have bubbles. Then you can flip. Okay, take a closer look. As you can see, it's starting to inflate. Bubbles are starting to form. Okay, now we're going to flip and do the other side for about 30 seconds and then start another tortilla. Okay, now we're ready to take it off. I like to put mine in a tortilla warmer. This helps keep the tortillas nice and warm. On goes the next tortilla. Okay, so this is the last of that tortilla. Oh man. Now in the same pan, I'm going to add the marinated ribeye that has been marinating in that beautiful bulgogi sauce. And now I'm just going to add that. Okay, as you can see, our bulgogi is done. Okay, so we're ready to assemble our Korean tacos, and we're only adding a few condiments that will elevate this taco. One being kimchi. If you're not familiar with kimchi, it is a fermented cabbage condiment, and it has a salty, vinegary, umami flavor profile, and it's going to go great with this bulgogi. And then we're going to top it off with my green sauce, which is simply avocados, scallion, lime juice, mayo, salt, pepper, to add that last layer of yumminess. 2 tortillas. Then we're going to take our bulgogi. Oh baby. We're just going to pile it on. A tablespoon, tablespoon and a half if you're doing 6-inch tortillas. Then we're going to top it off with that wonderful kimchi. Then a nice drizzle of that green sauce. A Korean bulgogi taco.